When the sun sets in paradise, that's when things really heat up. Tonight, for the first time in a long time, a cooking competition show returns to the islands. On this one stove, two competitors will scrap it out for a chance at culinary glory. First up, a pair of rising stars. Here's how it works. In round one, contestants will have 15 minutes to create a dish using our mystery ingredient. The dishes will be scored on a scale of 1 to 10. In round two, competitors will have 25 minutes to use our mystery ingredient to create a second dish, but that round will be worth double. 2 dishes, 1 winner. This is Kitchen Scraps. It is time to meet our competitors. Our first cook grew up on the West Coast, surrounded by friends and family, and in 2022 enrolled in the Kapi'olani Community College Culinary Arts program. She is here, she is fierce. She is Victoria Zhang.
Aloha, my name is Victoria Zhang. I may be small in stature, but I'm big in flavor. Raised on the West Coast, learned how to cook from my parents and being in culinary school, as well as all my fellow line cooks. I've been cooking for about 2 years and then starting back of house about 1 year. My favorite type of cuisine to cook at the moment is Italian food. I love all the different types of pastas. I currently reside in Honolulu. I'm excited to be here and bring my A game to Kitchen Scraps.
Victoria, welcome to the kitchen ring. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling awesome.
You ready to win?
Of course.
All right, let's meet the challenger. Tonight, the competition hails from Exit 8, born and raised in Wahiawa. He seriously started cooking 3 years ago, and again in 2022, joined the Kapi'olani Community College Culinary Arts program. He's here, he's tough, he's ready to win. He is Gailen Shimabukuro.
How's it? I'm Gailen Shimabukuro. And before you ask, I'm not Jake's brother. I don't play the ukulele, I cook. I was born and raised in Wahiawa. I learned how to cook from both my parents. I grew up cooking all kinds of foods, mostly Asian foods. Coming from a Japanese household, a lot of ramen and saimin. Kind of kept my family together as one. We all enjoyed cooking, so that's something that we really bond over. I'm excited to be here on Kitchen Scraps, and I'm just ready for go.
Aloha, Gailen. Welcome to the kitchen ring.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
Feeling good.
Feeling good? Ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right, let's meet tonight's celebrity judge. He specializes in Japanese, Thai, and Korean cuisine. And in 2015 was named the Global Taste of Korea champion, served as the executive producer and the co-host of What's Cooking Hawaii. He is Chef Grant Sato.
Thank you for having me, Kainoa.
Thank you, Chef. You also brought in our mystery ingredient. What are you looking for tonight, Chef?
I'm just looking for the students to have a good time, but also to show off their knife skills and the cooking skills that they learned while they've gone through our program.
Thank you very much, Chef. We're going to escort you to our waiting room, and we will have you return when the dishes are completed. You two know the rules. 15 minutes using our mystery ingredient, which tonight is local ahi.
When I saw that it was ahi, I was a bit concerned because I don't use it that much in the kitchen.
Oh man, when I seen the mystery ingredient, the ahi, I just knew right away, poke. Gotta be.
Victoria, you ready?
Ready.
Gailen, are you ready?
Ready.
Your 15 minutes starts right now.
I'm gonna make a poke cannoli to combine my love for local food and Italian cuisine. The first thing I did was cut my onions and then ahi, and this is my sauce, so it has time to sit and marinate the flavors in, and as well as salting the ahi. I think my poke is a little too big still. For my sauce, I'm using gochujang, sriracha, sesame oil, shoyu, salt, and sugar. These ingredients should bring out the natural flavors and freshness of the ahi, and the sugar and salt will help balance all of it together.
Challenge number 1, I'm gonna be making a shoyu poke tostada with a spicy mayo on top. As a local boy, we all love chips, so with some poke, beautiful tostada dish. First thing I had to do was get my chips into that oil because that was gonna take the longest time. The chips, I used some wonton pea from Chunwa Cam, chopped them in half and fried them. Then I started my poke, cutting up the ahi, making my sauce, chopping up all the extra ingredients to go in it as well. Just making a simple spicy mayo just for toppings.
How much time do we have? Okay.
Plenty.
Victoria, does Gailen know what's coming right now?
No, he's not ready.
Gailen, does Victoria know?
She doesn't. She gonna learn, she gonna learn.
10 minutes left.
Can I use your blowtorch? Torching the ahi. So you get that smoky flavor. I'm running out of time and my cannolis are flying everywhere. It's getting messy. Garland, you want to wash your wontons?
My chips, as they were frying, I kind of realized that the oil was too hot. The chips started to overcook and slowly started to burn. Looking at the chips and looking at the clock and thinking I don't have enough time.
Once I got the poke in the bag, I'm realizing I cut the hole too big. Ooh,
So-
poke is just getting everywhere. Oh my God.
Kitchen Scraps is brought to you by Foodland, the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival, and Hawaii Gas.
Oh my God, I'm squeezing it on the wrong end.
All right, cooks, we got about 5 minutes, final 5 minutes of challenge number 1.
I'm cutting my fish smaller than you would typically see in the grocery store, like the poke at Foodland. I just want to make sure I can fit it inside my cannoli mold. I spent way too long on this.
I've never seen a poke cannoli situation.
It's gonna be fun to eat.
Yeah?
It's gonna be fun to eat.
Threw in some onions. After that, I sliced some green onions very thinly for some nice garnishing. In my sauce, I had some shoyu, some sesame oil, chili flakes, and Hawaiian salt.
You gonna get done in time?
Of course.
Yeah? Playing it very cool. Victoria, how you feeling?
We're cutting it close. This is really hot. I can't touch that. I can't touch that without burning myself.
The oil was too hot, clock was ticking down, and chips were burning, so just had to chance them.
We gotta get plated up over here. Guyland's getting it close, 40 seconds.
Put the cabbage down, tostada chips inside, poke it right over the top.
30 seconds left.
I'm worried about my cannoli wrapper. It was getting a little too dark for comfort. I need to make sure I can save it.
We have arrived. Challenge number 1 is over in 5, 4, 3, 2. Dishes down.
As I finish up my cannolis, I look over at Guyland's plate and I'm thinking our pokes look really similar. You doing okay?
Oh yeah,
You did great.
Now I'm
You did great.
nervous.
Victoria and Guyland, take a breath. Challenge 1 has come to an end. 15 minutes you were tasked to create a dish using our mystery ingredient, which was local ahi. Victoria, what did you prepare for Chef?
Today I made a poke cannoli with masago and ogo. I'm hoping Chef Sato likes the flavor of my poke and finds the crunchiness of the spring roll perfect.
I really enjoyed the crunch on your wrapper. The poke was really nice flavored. I do have critiques on plating though. It is a little crude compared to the quality of the product that you actually put on the plate. So I would say maybe a little finer plating, as well as maybe to add something green, because you have a lot of dark colors that would have made it pop, and really it would have caught my eye and it would have made my first impression a lot better than it actually was.
Yes, Chef.
Guyland, what have you prepared for Chef?
I made a shoyu poke tostada with a spicy mayo and unagi sauce.
Let's give it a try.
I'm hoping Chef Sato likes the freshness of the fish and just that nostalgic feeling of eating a shoyu poke dish.
Okay, this one's a little difficult to eat. Still very difficult to eat. Chips are crispy and crunchy. Your poke has really a lot of flavor, but I think maybe the oil was a little too hot when you fried your chips because they puffed up. They're all different colors, and it was a little difficult to actually scoop out the poke mix in there. And also maybe you want to think about, is there an even amount of poke to the number of chips that are there? Because you know, us local people, we love our chips, so I may eat the chips before the poke is done. So maybe the amount of poke to the chips could have been a little better.
Thanks, Chef.
All right, Chef, you have now tasted both dishes. Have you selected a winner for round 1?
I have. On a scale of 1 to 10, The winning dish is actually a 9.
Wow.
And the winner is? On a scale of 1 to 10, the winning dish is actually a 9.
Wow.
And the winner is? It's a tie.
Tie.
I'm really surprised there was a tie. I thought one of us would come out on top.
A tie, really? I was hoping that, I can get an extra head start on this for the next challenge.
So I'm gonna do a tiebreaker. And I think because they both did really innovative platings, I'm gonna go back to the true nature of poke. Poke means cube. And so I wanna award the winner of this dish, the person who cubed their fish the best, because traditionally that's what a poke is. And the winner is gonna be Gailen.
Wow, winning challenge 1 was a big stress relief. Now I can just focus up on challenge 2. I'm glad I cubed the poke.
Both of them had great flavor. Both of them had that wonderful crunch to pair with it. But it's just that if you're gonna call it a poke, I wanna make sure it's nicely cubed, because that is what the meaning of poke is.
So I didn't win challenge number 1, but I'm ready for the second. The points are tied right now, so there's still a chance I can take home the win.
Chef, thank you very much. We'll see you at the conclusion of round 2, if you would. Head to our waiting room. Gailen, congratulations. You got the win in round 1. How are you feeling?
Feeling good for now, thank you.
Victoria, we're going into round 2. This one's worth double. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's still anybody's game.
More cooking, more competition to come. In round 2, you're gonna be tasked with 25 minutes on the clock, and you will need to create a dish utilizing mystery ingredient number 2. It is local beef.
Man, there's so many ways that I can go through with this, but I have to go like an Asian route.
Beef is really versatile. I already know what I'm gonna make for challenge number 2.
25 minutes starts right now.
I have your cut of meat.
Stealing my stuff, man.
Gailen, you can go ahead, talk some trash. You won round 1. How you feeling now?
Feeling good. I think I've got it down. He enjoyed my first dish, so hopefully I can keep that going with the second dish.
What is the second dish?
Doing a gochujang steak with a pickled cabbage and miso roasted potatoes.
Whoa, where's the inspiration for this coming from?
I don't know, I kind of just made it up.
Good. Victoria, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, so what are you thinking? What is the approach for round 2?
Thinking of a beef stir fry. So I'm gonna thinly cut my beef right now.
Has your approach changed at all since Chef Sato, you know what he likes? What's the approach?
Just thinking about plating and presentation, but making sure the flavor's there. For challenge number 2, I'm making a beef stir fry with vegetables and noodles. This is an easy dish I can make within the given time while using local beef. So I slice my beef. I'm gonna try and get it thinly cut, about 1/4 inch thick. Just making sure it cooks well and it cooks quickly. I make a quick marinade of baking soda, shoyu, oyster sauce, sugar, salt, and sesame oil. This will give the beef a nice coating when I cook it in the pan. Just gonna be a quick marinade, so I'm gonna rub it in and let that sit while I prep the rest of my stuff.
What's working in the wok right now? What do you got?
We've got garlic, ginger, sesame oil, meat. Just got marinated in.
Yummy. Ooh, it's smelling good in here. Smelling real good in here.
Challenge number 2, I'm making a gochujang steak with a roasted miso potatoes, pickled cabbage, and a soy shiitake ginger glaze. First thing I do is cut my meat and get it ready to go onto the skillet. Add some gochujang paste, kind of just brushing it on evenly, making sure all the flavors are all spread out. Just kind of putting it on. Hopefully can get a nice sear on the steak. Brush it onto the steaks and season them up and throw them into the pan.
What are you looking for temperature-wise on the steak, Gailen?
Just looking for a nice medium rare.
Nice medium rare?
Yeah.
I haven't seen gochujang on steak, Gailen. Do you see that a lot?
No, not really.
You're seeing it today, huh?
Seeing it today.
What's the gochujang gonna do to the steak? Give it a little bit of heat?
Give it a little bit of heat, some nice flavoring that I want. Next thing, I cut the potatoes up. Get them into the boiling pot of water to get them to cook as quickly as possible. I'm gonna work on miso butter right now.
Miso butter?
Yeah.
How's that gonna come together?
Just take some simple miso paste and just kind of toss it together with some butter. A little bit of sugar for some sweetness. Then I started on my pickling of my cabbage. I'm gonna just salt this cabbage and make a little pickled cabbage for the bottom of the steak.
Add a little bit of color in there.
Yeah, just a little more color as well. Throw in some salt and massaging it with some salt and water. And then after that, just letting that sit for a little bit.
What are you doing now, Victoria?
I don't want to overcook my meat, so I'm just taking it off the heat for now while I cook off my vegetables and my noodles. After cooking my beef, I'm setting it aside while I finish off the rest of my ingredients. Grabbing my noodles and the onions. For my vegetables, I'm using bell pepper, broccoli, and carrots.
Wow, Victoria, what are you doing to that carrot?
Hoping to make some nice cuts come out of this, so she get a little Christmas tree. For the carrots, I'm using a special cut to bring unique shapes to this dish. It's important I cook it all the way and maintain the color.
All right, cooks, 15 minutes left.
My broccoli isn't cooking. I'm looking at the time and I realized I should have cooked my broccoli and carrots separately because the broccoli was taking much longer to cook than the rest of my vegetables. While I'm cooking, I look over at Guyland's and I see his potatoes. I wonder if they'll cook in time.
I'm looking up at the clock. My potatoes aren't really done yet. Just gonna strain them out and then toss them into a miso butter and finish them in the oven. I'm starting to get worried because I might not have enough time to finish this dish.
How you doing, Guyland? Everything's coming together? Kitchen Scraps is brought to you by Foodland, the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival, and Hawaii Gas. How you doing, Guyland? Everything's coming together?
Yeah, I think.
Are you good?
No. Letting my potatoes sit for a little bit, I started working on my sauce. In my sauce, I put some aromatics, some garlic, some ginger, some green onion, some shiitake mushroom, added a little bit of honey and some gochujang inside.
Guyland, more gochujang?
Just a little bit more. While I was cooking this dish, I wanted some flame. What you want to do is you want to heat your pan hot enough, and when you pour in your alcohol, it'll cause a big flame.
Woo!
You ready? Put my alcohol, deglaze with some sake. Oh, so sad.
What happened?
It didn't light. I think I had to heat my pan up more. Bummers. Bummers. Put my alcohol and it wasn't hot enough. No flame.
Where's the fire, Guyland? I expected more of a show.
Scorched the living hell out of that pan. Oh no.
I added in my noodles, some beef broth, the beef back in. My sauce evaporated a little bit, so I'm gonna add in some water. Just making sure it's well mixed. I used cornstarch slurry to thicken this sauce. I don't want to thicken it too much, so I'm just adding it as I go and then adjusting as necessary. Toasting my sesame seeds a bit more.
Guyland, you gonna be done in time?
Hope so. Maybe.
1 minute left.
Looking up at the clock, my potatoes aren't really done yet, and I'm running out of time. Potatoes took a lot longer than I thought. Instead, I decided to just pull it out of the oven and just torch them. When in doubt, make fire.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dish is down. Victoria, Guylan, in our challenge number 2, you both were tasked 25 minutes to create a dish utilizing local beef. Guylan, we'll start with you. What did you prepare for chef?
I made a gochujang steak with miso roasted potatoes, pickled cabbage, and a soy shiitake ginger glaze. I'm hoping chef enjoys the flavor pairings of everything with the acid from the cabbage and the spicy from the steak and the miso from the potatoes.
You know, I have to be very honest, this smelled wonderful. While I was in the waiting room, the aroma that came through was great. So I'm gonna start with the potato. This potato is really good. I'm going to the pickled vegetable. It has a nice crunch and a balance with the acid. And we'll try the beef. The beef is good, but I would have liked to have seen all of the slices of beef be of equal size because the smaller ones are easier to eat, but there's some big ones in here that may require 2 or 3 bites.
Thank you, chef.
Victoria, what did you prepare for chef?
Today I made wok fried beef with seasonal vegetables and noodles. When I present my dish to chef, I'm worried that my beef is overcooked because it was in the pan for a little too long. I'm hoping chef likes the flavors of my dish and the cuts of my vegetables.
You have some really nice knife cuts in here. Carrots are cooked well. The beef is nice and tender. And the noodles look good. The flavors are really done well. You've done well with the vegetables, but I would have liked to see more beef in this dish. If this is going to be a beef dish, I would have liked to seen it be the highlight of the course.
Yes, chef, thank you.
Victoria, Guylan, now that chef has had an opportunity to try both dishes, we're gonna have you head to the waiting room and await a decision.
I had a lot of thoughts running through my head during this judging. I know exactly where I want to improve.
I'm nervous. He liked both of our dishes. It just comes down to what happens next.
Chef, you have a hard decision to make.
Yes.
Let's go over Guylan's dish one more time.
Okay, Guylan's dish, the potatoes are incredible. In fact, that potato is something to be said about.
What about the stir fry?
It has good merits. The flavors were good, but I also thought that for the amount of beef that they actually started with, more of it should have been on the plate in the finished dish.
Chef, have you selected a winner?
Yes, I have.
Guylan and Victoria, we have selected a winner. Now, both of you went into the final challenge tied with a score of 9-9. However, in challenge number 2, one dish stood above the rest. A score of 19 out of 20. Being crowned the very first Kitchen Scraps champion. Our winner today is Guylan Shimabukuro.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Good job.
When you said 19 out of 20, I was really shocked. You know, I thought my dish was good, but it wasn't that good.
Guylan's dish, I think, is suitable to be served in any restaurant in Honolulu right now. The potatoes are incredible. Something I even want to make now because it's that good. So I would definitely give it about a 19 out of 20.
Chee-hoo! I can't believe I actually just won the competition. It really felt great to get this competition win and to be the first ever win on Kitchen Scraps for the first time.
This was a bit of a nerve-wracking experience, but I'm glad I did it. I learned a lot from being on this show. I may have lost today, but I'll be back for more.
I'm signing my chef's hat and leaving it here in the kitchen and going to keep chasing my dream of becoming a professional chef.